And you would say that it's important for you said it's important for the woman to tap in. How important is it for the man to tap in?
Absolutely. It's important for the man to tap in to his feminine aspect as well within himself in order to balance off the energy, you know. And, you know, really, for me, I learned that best when I began practicing Tai Chi with my teacher. You know, thanks and praises to my teacher. He just passed away last month, about a month ago or so. His name is Grandmaster Kijana Vita. And so, you know, when he started teaching us Tai Chi, that's when I really started to become familiar with that, you know, that feminine aspect, the feminine energy, because Tai Chi is, you know, the feminine aspect of martial arts. It's the healing arts. And so you've got, in Chinese philosophy or in, you know, the martial arts philosophy, you have the yin and the yang, the balance,
right.
You know, the two cosmic principles, the masculine principle and the feminine principle, and they balance one another. And so, you know, in the realm of martial arts, you have, you know, what they call hot or hard martial arts, which is like, you know, the stuff that you see on the movies, on the martial arts movies, which is like the punching and the kicking, the martial aspect of things. And then you have the internal arts also, you know, which is like Tai Chi and Bagua and, you know, these type of martial arts, which focus on cultivating internal energy. And those are the feminine arts because it's a soft style, and you're dealing with energy, cultivating energy. And so, once I started practicing those arts, I really, was able to really have a first-hand experience on, coming in contact with that energy, with that feminine principle, within myself, and learning how to just really calm myself, how to bring about harmony, how to tap into nature, how to tap into, the beauty within myself and within all things, how to harmonize my nature and be harmonious with others, all of these things. And even when it comes to music, music is also like considered a feminine art as well, because it deals with harmony, it deals with beauty, it deals with melody, being melodious. All of those things are feminine principles, And so really integrating those different concepts into what I do as far as with the music, as well as in my, my healing arts as well, dealing with the Reiki and the Tai Chi and things like that. Those things are so very important. And sometimes, you have to realize the importance of the application of things as far as, sometimes you may need force when dealing with a situation. But then sometimes you may need a soft touch, that delicate soft touch, and approach things in a delicate way, And so that's that feminine essence, that feminine touch, that both men and women can benefit from tapping into that, and learning how to apply, and becoming familiar with that energy, So that's my understanding,
That's going to open us right on up into what our topic is tonight, because it is a balance. It is a balance, and dealing with the subject, which is, by the way, polygamy. Is it part of the problem or part of the solution? Okay, and so I love how we just, that's the ancestors, because I didn't know how we were going to open this up, And like I said, I just got the song, 30 minutes ago. So I'm like, this is hot. And so, and talking about the feminine, the feminine energy, this is the main thing that we're promoting out there to let people know that we're missing something in our society. Even though the women is there, we're missing the tapping into the feminine energy. So we have to get back, and I say back too because we used to do that. You know, we used to do that all the time, and now, you know, now it's so, everything is so patriarchal, and, you know, we don't get off into that. But anyway, so I thank you for doing that. Let me ask you this before we go over. I want to talk some more about the music for a minute. How does people receive the type of music that you're pumping out there? Because, you know, we're dealing with the Nicki Minaj's and Lil Wayne's and, you know, all these people. How do they receive your music and your message in your music?
Yeah, I mean, all the feedback, I can say pretty much, you know, it's been almost unanimously, the feedback that I've gotten back has been, like, very positive. People are feeling it, they're tapping into it, and even if they're not, you know, quote-unquote, you know, dealing with, like, consciousness or whatnot, still they can feel it, you know what I'm saying, just on a heart level. They can feel the sincerity in the music, because I'm not just, like, singing some words or trying to express my swag or anything like that, you know what I'm saying? Like, when I write and produce this music and perform it, you know, I'm investing my soul into it. You know, I'm putting my full being, my energy into it, you know, and I think that people can feel that when they hear the music. They can feel the sincerity and the authenticity, you know, of the music. Yeah. And so I think that's the difference, you know what I'm saying? That's what kind of sets it apart. And I know it's music that, you know, the masses aren't really accustomed to, you know, especially this generation, you know, the younger generations that they're not really accustomed to and familiar with, because we've been away from that type of music for so long, you know what I'm saying, back in the 60s and 70s and things like that. And even in the 80s, you know, we had access to those types of music. We had Stevie Wonders and Marvin Gaye's and Al Greens and, you know, Kool and the Gangs, all of these people, Curtis Mayfield and Minnie Riperton, all these people who really made powerful soul music that when you hear the music, like you put on a Bob Marley record today, it's like you know, it's like a new record. It's you know, you never know that it was recorded maybe 30, 40 years ago, you know, because, you know, it's so, you know, the soul is so authentic, and it's still relevant even today as it was 30 years ago, you know. And so, you know, that type of music just transcends time, you know, and it just lasts forever. And so that's the type of music that I aspire to make. And I think that, you know, the more we're exposed to it, you know, and the younger generations are exposed to it, they'll become familiar with it and become, you know, really begin to embrace it and be able to, you know, differentiate, like, okay, man, feel the difference between that and something that, you know, in its conception was not really conceived from a, you know, from the purest intentions, or with the, you know, with the purpose of, like, you know, really creating something that, you know, is a true reflection of their soul. Because there's a lot of people out here pretending and acting, you know. There are a lot of actors, you know, people who are playing a role, you know, in their music. And, you know, their music isn't really a genuine reflection of who they are as a human being, as a person, as a soul, as a spirit, you know. And so, I mean, for me, that's what I want my music to reflect, like, you know, the record of who I am, you know, of the record of my soul, you know. So when you hear that song, you like, oh, I know exactly who that is. That's Crown. Can't be nobody else. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right,
that can't be nobody else. That's Crown right there, you know? It's like totally set apart. When I listen to, you know, Marley, I'm like, oh, that's Bob Marley. It can't be nobody else. You know what I'm saying? Because the authenticity just stamps it on there. You know what I'm saying? He was so authentic that his personality, his character came across in the songs that he was singing. And so you're not just getting a song, you're also getting the artist, you know, you're getting a glimpse into who this artist is, you know, the nature of who this person is. And so that's what I want, you know.
I think you're doing that, and so you know, before we get to, I want to get to my topic, but this is so good. So before we get to my topic, those of you who are just joining us, I see you coming in. I say welcome to Zuri Speaks Talk Radio, and yes, we are talking to Tajh Abdulsamad, and AKA Crown. And so for those who are coming in, can you just, we'll do it briefly. I know you probably get this question a million times. Matter of fact, I do know you get it, but just for the people who get familiarized with who you are, tell a little bit about your background and who you are, please.
Yeah, I'm 1/4 of a group called The Boys. We were a young teen group who back in the late 80s, early 90s had some #1 hits. We were like Down My Heart, Crazy, A Little Romance, Lucky Charm, Happy, things like that, you know, songs like that. We were signed to Motown Records. Let's see, what else? We multi-platinum selling group. And then we just took a break from the limelight, you know, so that we could do some growing and just kind of experience life and grow as young men and as human beings, and just kind of like, you know, do some soul searching, figure out what life is all about for us, you know, and, you know, try to answer some of the questions that, you know, our soul was longing to have answers to, you know. And so we did that, me and my brothers, you know, and we ended up, you know, on a spiritual journey of sorts, and we started making records under the name Sons of Light, and we made a few albums under that name, and you know, we ended up moving to West Africa, the Gambia, and opening up a studio and producing music there in West Africa for ourselves and for some of the artists there. And then we, you know, after living in Africa for a few years, we moved back here to America and continued our musical works. And you know, we've been writing and producing. We've done some production for, you know, for Akon, and my brother Hakeem did some production for New Kids on the Block on their last comeback album. And we've just been continuing to do more and more music and write and produce and be active in the musical world, as well as working on our own stuff individually and collectively, you know. And so, you know, those type of things are in the works. But in the meantime, I've been really focusing on you know, my music personally, my individual music, the Crown Project. And, yeah, it's been really good. I feel like I've been growing as an artist. And, you know, with each song, with each album, with each project, you know, really, you know, the vibe is getting stronger and stronger, and I'm really getting a feel for who I am, you know, as an artist and as a human being, and how I want to express myself musically.
Why you always be skipping a part? Everybody close y'all ears for a minute. I got to ask Tajh a question.